Okay, so I received a question about accepting changes and sending me a clean document once you've made those edits. So I've got shown here a paper that has some edits on it, and I want to just show you what I mean when I say that. So essentially, what I would want to see is where the things are that you've addressed and where the things are that haven't been addressed. So if it's something that I've said to make it like the cleanest copy possible, if it's something that I've said that's just like a comment, it's not something for you to necessarily change about things, then you can go ahead and right click on my comment and click delete comment. And it'll go away. So I'll know, like, I don't need to look back and make sure you fixed anything. That was just something that was said on the original document. Then there are going to be some comments where I've asked you to do something that changes over time. So if I've asked you to make a comment that requires changes, then you can leave those for now. When I talk about accepting changes, so you can see on this version where it is that I've made changes. So when you download your document, you should see where I've made edits to it. If you don't, just to be sure, you can click on this review tab on Microsoft Word. Excuse the brief intermission while my dog's lost it. So if, when you pull it up, you don't see the edits that I've made, if you click on that review tab, then along this top panel, it has some viewing options for you. So right now, mine is set for all markup, but it's possible that yours is set for something different. If you're only seeing comments, then it's probably set up to show simple markup. And if you're not seeing anything, then it's set up to do no markup. For the record, you will almost never get a document back from me that says literally nothing. It may not have too terribly many edits depending on what round of revisions we're on something, but I'll usually make some comment of like, thanks for making those modifications or whatever, even if there's not very much. So we want this to be on all markup so that you can see every change that I made to the document. So things like this are areas where I've added in language or taken it away or modified it, etc. So when I say to you to accept those changes, there are two ways that you can do that. One of them is to go to the top panel here and use, well, I'll go over the other one first actually. So my preferred method of you doing it is for you to click on a specific edit, and if you accept it, if you agree with it, you don't have a problem with making that change to the paper, then you can right click it and accept change. So then it'll go back to like regular text color. It won't show up as something that's different in the document anymore. So my suggestion would be to go through and do that to each of the things that I've done. And that way I know that you're okay with making this change and you're gonna leave that. So you'll go through and do that with each edit. For the sake of time, I will show you the other method of doing that. But I would only want you to use this method if you've already gone through and looked at all of the changes that I've made. So if you've gone through and you have already checked and looked at all the changes that I've made and you're okay with them, you just didn't accept them along the way, which is okay because it's kind of cumbersome, then you can go up to this top panel and next to the accept button, there's a caret and you click on that and click accept all changes. So what that'll do is take away all the green and all the edits that I've done. So that's now like a clean copy with the exception of these comments. So for the comments, again, remember that if you have addressed a comment of mine, then you can, if it's not one that requires addressing, you can delete it. If you do address it, it might be helpful for you to leave that comment, but just include where the changes were made. So make sure that before you start making edits to your document, so you've reviewed all my edits, you've accepted them or rejected them, And then before you start making edits to the document, you make sure that this track changes button says on. So in this comment, I said, use this frame to complete using the averages and ranges reported below. So if I were to take this comment and address it, I'm going to have to make up numbers for the sake of just showing you what this looks like. Then I would delete where this X is, and you see it comes up as, okay, Natalie deleted this. And then I would add in maybe the average, what's this, percentage of intervals with challenging behavior during an FA. So during the demand condition was 45% with a range of 30 to 60. So now you can see that where I have made modifications, those are now showing up as different than that previous version. So when I'm getting this document back from you, it will show up with only the things that you've changed, and I can look and be like, okay, use this frame to complete using the averages and ranges was what I suggested. Oh, check, they did that. Good to go. So once you have done that, I should only see your edits on here, not mine. So this one, complete this frame. So I would add in whatever the rest I'm going to say. And then once I've done that, I'll leave it just as it is. So at the end, all I should see is the comments that I made that required addressing and the ways that you address them in text. This is also an opportunity where, so if you see an edit and you're like, I don't really know what to do with this specifically, or it asks you a question and I need more information before I tell you what to do with it, you can also add comments. So on my comment, you can click this little button and it adds a place for you to respond to it. So you could say like, I'm not sure what this tells us. And then tell me like what you think. Don't ever just say like, I don't know, but show me that you're thinking critically about it a little bit in your comment as well. And I'm happy to help you get to the end goal of where that document should be. So at the end, you should only see the new changes that you've made and any comments that I left that required addressing. Hope this helps. Thanks.